a bit of a deeper breath through our nose, filling our lungs, letting it expand in all directions. Keep your eyes shut if you'd like. And even as with the eyes shut, relax your gaze. Sometimes our focus, our eyes can be so intense, certainly when they're open, but even when they're shut. So in the few moments you have in a yoga practice with your eyes are shut, let the eyes themselves relax into their sockets. So starting to reduce the tension that we hold in our heads. Hopefully letting that kind of come into the rest of the body. As yoga, really the practice of yoga, a wonderful way of relieving tension or stress. Let's reach our arms up over our heads. If you'd like, you can open up your eyes, stretch up from your low back, all the way up through your chest, your arms, and right out through your fingertips. And then bring your palms together and let's take our hands to our heart center. Good morning, everybody. Namaste. Let's come onto our hands and our knees. So we'll get out of our legs and our hips a little tiny bit. Coming onto hands and knees here, spreading the fingers fairly wide and bringing your hands right underneath your shoulders. Today we're going to turn our hands around the other way. So I want you to point your fingers now towards your knees, and it automatically becomes quite a bit of a wrist and a forearm stretch. In fact, you might have to take your knees in a little closer towards your hands to kind of mitigate some of that. And from here, we'll take a few cats and cows. So take an inhale, lift your chest and lift your tail. Glance up. Exhale, breathing. Pull your belly in, drop your head, drop your tailbone down. Okay, good. And then a few more. Inhale here, belly drops, lifting your chest, and exhale, breathing. Cat stretch, getting into our backs here. One more. Inhale, breathing. And then exhale, breathing. I'm taking this out. Nice. Hello, wrists. Come back to the center. Now we'll turn our hands out sideways. So we'll take our fingertips, we'll point them to the left and right sides of the mat. Shift your weight squarely over your wrist. Feel your arm strength and just shift a little bit left and right. Again, just bringing a little attention to the hands, the wrists, and the forearms. The part of the body that you do want to keep well stretched as it is prone to flexion. We want to give ourselves some space into even the smallest digits here, our fingers. So going a little left and right with your body over your shoulders, warming up the wrist once again. Stretch. And then come back to the center here. Now we'll turn our hands forward as we typically would when we come onto our hands and our knees. Like tuck your right toes under and extend your right leg back with the knee lifted up into the air. Keep the toes on the floor. Slide your right foot all the way over to the left side of the mat, and then take your eye gaze and glance over your left shoulder at the foot back there behind you, allowing the right side body to start to open up a bit. Push your arms, your hands down into the ground. So push down, stay lifted. Keep your right quadricep lifted. So it's a very engaging stretch to open up into the right ribs and the right side of the torso. Well done. Come back to the center. Keep the toes on the floor. Push into your right arm and lift your left arm up by your ear. Now pitch your weight a little bit more forward into the right arm and float your right foot up off the floor. Come into a spinal balance. You can either point your toes or flex your feet. The more correct version would be to flex the foot. Sometimes pointing the toes, though, can kind of give you a little bit more assistance in feeling the extension in the leg. So by all means, do that. If you'd like to, pull your rib cage in and get nice and long from the left side fingers all the way up to the toes of the right foot. Well done. Take one more breath here. Very nice. And then release the hand and the knee down. And a little shake out to the tail left and right. So we'll take that on the other side. So tuck the left toes under and slide the toes back, lifting the left knee up. Pushing through the heel, getting some space into your left leg. Now slide your left toes as far over to the right as you can without bending the knee, and take your eye gaze and look over your right shoulder. So look back at the foot behind you, kind of jutting your ribs out to the left a little tiny bit. Pull in through the ribs, stay firm and strong through your arms, and push through your left heel, getting some extension now into the leg. Well done. Come back to the center, right? Keeping your left toes tucked for now, reach your right arm forward, reaching up through your right fingertips, and then lean a bit forward into the left arm, float your left leg up into the air, coming into the spinal balance on this side here. Very, very strong posture for working the asymmetrical, the diagonal lines of the chest and the belly, and even into the back. Challenging our balance as we balance on opposite limbs here, and then getting us to coordinate our breath as we start to bring a little physicality into our yoga practice. One more breath here, and then release the hand and the knee down. I'm in a child's pose now. Take your knees a little wide so you find a little bit of ease, right? Ease to the knees. How's that? Drop the head and the chest down. If possible, let your forehead come down onto the ground. You can always stack your hands and let your forehead rest on your hands as I am doing here as an option for your child's pose. Child's pose, it's certainly a gentle posture, but it's a very deep stretch, primarily for the lower part of the body. Let the shoulders relax. Let the upper body relax. So take as much surrender as you can into this position, helping to now take the tension out of your knees and out of your hips. Sometimes we just need to kind of take our mindset to those parts of the body and find a little space there. Maybe it's just a little tiny bit. We'll take it. It is. One more breath here. Always knowing you can come back to this pose at any point in your practice. And then let's extend our arms out in front of us, pressing your palms flat. We're coming into downward facing dog. So lift your hips up, tuck your toes under, push firmly through the hands, and lift tall through the hips. Coming into your upside down, capital letter V, your downward facing dog. Bring some attention to your shoulders. I want you to feel your shoulders stretching a bit. For many people, that really is kind of the challenge in a downward facing dog. If you're challenged in your legs, you're free to bend your knees, as I am doing in the video. That helps to get a little bit more space into your back. As your hamstrings begin to accommodate more, you can then start to use your quadricep muscles to straighten your legs. So you always want to find extension in your limbs muscularly, not through your joints. So don't do anything hard or locking with knees or bones or whatnot. Instead, let the muscles use their strength to get the extension. And now breathe as you've got lots of space here in your body in which you can. So let's look forward. We're going to bend our knees a bit and start walking our feet to our hands. So you're coming up to the top part of your mat into a forward fold. I'd like your hands to touch either the floor or a block or a book or something that you have. So there's a little reference. You can always bend your knees a bit and then let the torso hang. So it's probably our deepest stretch really so far. For the upper body, letting the rib cage be heavy. As the tailbone lifts up, letting your head be heavy. Getting into your neck a little tiny bit as well. Good. So now place your fingertips out in front of you. Again, your knees can be bent. I want you to keep your right fingertips on the floor. Bend your right leg substantially and pick up your left arm into a twist. So take your chin away from your chest. Imagine your spine lengthening away from your hips. Start to straighten your left leg to get a deeper glute and IT band stretch on the left side. Well done. Switch sides, please. Put your left fingertips down. Bend your left leg and lift your left heel up a bit. Your right arm. Other side here. Don't need to look up. The neck is a pretty significant twist. Maybe the neck just doesn't do that. But start to work your right leg as straight as possible as you reach up through your right fingertips. And now come back to your forward fold, up and down and in. Good. Place your hands on your shins and push your shins back, lifting your chest up. Inhale. And then exhale, breathing, and drop your head and your chest in. Good. And now inhale, we'll stand. Come all the way up. Circle your arms up over your head as you stand up and look up as you bring your palms together. Hold this for a moment. Hold your hands together with your arms up over your head, pressing your palms into each other, reaching up through the fingertips. This is called upward salute. Push down through your heels, engage through your legs, long through your spine. And now slide your thumbs down in front of your heart into what we call Samasthiti. Inhale, breathing, sweep your arms up over your head. Good. Exhale, breathing, take a forward fold, bend your knees, drop your head all the way in. I want you to move really gently, maybe even a little slow. Inhale, take breath, half lift. We're doing half salutes. Exhale, breathing, and drop back down. Good. Inhale, breathing, come all the way up to a stand. Exhale, we'll take a side bend to our right. So bring your right arm, slide it down your right leg, lift your left arm and your left rib cage up towards the ceiling, push down through your left heel. Good. And now come back to the center, go to the other side. Take the left arm down, let it hang like there's a weight in the hand, pulling it down. Reach your right arm up and ground it through your right foot. Breathe, belly tight. Good. Inhale, both arms back up over your head. Exhale, again, we take a forward fold and come down. Good. Inhale, half lift, reach the chest forward. Good. Exhale, breathing, and drop back down. And then inhale, we stand, come all the way up. Take a little twist here. Exhale, bring your left arm right out in front of you, take your right arm behind you. Twisting your spine just a bit. Now push your right hip forward so that your pelvis stays square. Good. Place your right hand on your right glute. Push your hips forward and lift your left arm up like lean back. Little supported standing backward bend here. Well done. And then come back up and we'll switch the arms now. Take your right arm forward and your left arm back. Good. Arms ideally parallel to the floor. Push your left hip a little forward. There you go. Get the twist. Then place your left hand on your left glute. Push your pelvis a little forward. Reach your right arm up. Stay firm with your legs and lift up. Get some extension to the front part of your body. And now bring your both arms up overhead. One more half salute. Exhale, breathing. And forward fold. Come down. Inhale. Half lift. And exhale. Fold back down. Nice. Inhale, breathing, come all the way up. And exhale, breathing, bring your hands to your heart center. Right. So you can keep your feet a couple inches apart. We'll take a little chair pose here. I just want you to bend your knees and reach your arms out in front of you. So drop your hips down, getting fairly low, fairly substantial for the legs and for the lower body. If you want a little bit more action in the upper body, start to bring the arms up by your ears. And you can take that to any depth that you like, but you do want to keep your chest lifted. As you drop down into your heels, you bend your knees a little bit deeper, say hello to your quads and the lower part of your body. Good. And forward fold, come down. Nice. Lunge, inhale, glance forward and step your right leg to the back of the mat. Come into a runner's lunge pose here. Either being on your fingertips here, pushing down through your right heel, your left heel, excuse me. Keep your right quadricep muscle engaged. Low crescent lunge, put the right knee down and lift your arms and your chest up, sweep up. Good. Take a breath. With each new shape we bring into our body, we greet it with a breath. Engage through your tricep muscles, reach up through your fingertips. Find length into your body, opening up into your spine. Let the hips drop down and forward. Well done. Put your hands down on the inside of your left foot and tuck your right toes under. Pick up your right knee. So you're in this little kind of lizard variation here. Reach the chest forward. And now take a quarter turn over to the right into a wide-legged fold. Right, so your legs are wide. You're folded forward. Now take your hands and reach over for your right leg. Give it a hug. So starting to pull your torso towards the right leg. Keep the tailbone lifting up into the air and bring your left rib cage around towards the inside of the right leg. Notice how the weight goes towards your heels. See if you can find a little bit of space in the middle part of the foot, or feet, I should say. As you start to get a little bit deeper now into your inner thighs and your legs. Good. Walk over to the other side. Let's take the same position, the same stretch with your left leg, dropping your head and your chest in. Letting the right rib cage come down. Keep the weight a little bit forward. Tailbone lifting up, squaring your chest and your ribs if you can towards your left. And then come back to the center. Place your hands down on the floor and lift your chest up. Okay. Bring your hands to your hips, and now we're going to come up to a stand. Nice and slow. From the stand, take your left toes, point them back towards the front of your mat. We'll take a triangle pose here. Slide your right heel back. Now reach your arms out wide, parallel to the floor, and take a side body bend forward. Bring your left hand down on your left shin or on towards the left ankle. Reach the right arm up into the air. Open up your chest. Take your hips and start pushing them forward. In other words, in the direction that you're looking at. Right? Reaching up through the right fingertips, firming up through your legs. You need strong legs in a triangle pose. Belly muscle pulls in. Open up your chest. Well done. Good. Now lift back up, parallel to the floor, arms parallel to the floor, and bend your left leg for warrior two pose. You might find a wider stance. You might have to change the distance between your feet in this pose. That's fine. Keeping your arms out parallel to the floor. Hold your chest up and bend deeply into your front leg. Soften your eye gaze, but deepen your breath. And find your stillness. And the stillness is where we find our strength. Take one more breath here. Runner's lunge twist. Put your hands down on the floor. Spin on the ball of your right foot and pick up your left arm. Open up and twist. Firm up your right leg as you do so. Downward facing dog. Bring your left hand down and step your left leg to the back of the mat. Kind of regroup here just for a moment. And shift forward into plank pose. Put your knees down on the floor and lower the rest of the body down. Release the tops of your feet, Cobra Bhujangasana. This does not have to be a deep pose. Squeeze your elbows in towards your torso. Lift the heart up, getting into the back. And then slowly lower back down. Bring yourself back to down dog. You can push up to all fours, as I am doing, and then tuck the toes and lift yourself up. Downward facing dog. And from the dog, we'll take all of that on the other side. Walk forward towards the front of your mat. Nice. Take an inhale, lift your head and lift your heart. Exhale, breathing. Take a forward fold. And up you go. Inhale. Sweep all the way up. Bring your hands together to your heart center. The top of the mat in what we call the Samasthiti. Good. All right, so here we go. We're going to take that chair pose again. So have your feet a little bit apart. Bend your knees and drop down. Reach your arms either forward or up, depending on your shoulders. Good. Dropping down into your heels and starting to feel your low body engage. Sweep your arms behind you. Interlace your fingers. Pull your knuckles away from your low back. Begin to straighten your legs and take a forward fold into what we call a yoga mudra. Drop the head and drop the chest. Pull the knuckles away from your low back, encouraging space into your shoulders. Quite a strong pose. Tailbone lifting up into the air. Let the back and side body start to open up. You can start to straighten your legs if you're feeling a little bit more space in your hamstrings. And don't forget to breathe. Your palms don't have to touch, but do keep a firm grip with your fingers. That's actually good for the knuckles. It's actually good to work your hands and your fingers a little tiny bit. And then release the grip. Place the fingertips down. Lift your chest, look forward a bit, and step your left leg back, coming into a runner's lunge. Good. Left leg steps back, reach the heart forward. Put your left knee down, low crescent lunge. Inhale, breathing, lift yourself up. Lift up through your chest, let the breath take you there. Control the breath. Lift up through the back of the heart. Drop down into the hips a bit. Allow your left hip flexors to open up. Soft shoulders, softer eye gaze. We put out a calm demeanor in every yoga pose. It's at least what we practice, what we aspire to do. Take one more breath. And then put your hands down on the inside of your right leg. Tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee up. And now walk over to your left, coming into your standing forward fold. Take your hands and turn your fingers the other way and walk them all the way back through your legs, or maybe just a little tiny bit. You can do this with the palms flat on the floor. Maybe you have spider fingers. Either way, that's good. And then let the head and the chest come down. So get a little bit deeper now into the backside body. Well done. Let the head and the chest come down. So kind of just surrender it. Let the weight take it down. Just doing that will give you a good stretch into your legs and the back part of your body. Tailbone reaches up. Let the head hang. And then walk your hands back forward. Under your shoulders, push into the floor. Then place your hands back on your hips and bring yourself up to a stand. Good. So triangle on the other side. Now the right toes point forward. Good. Arms out parallel to the floor and reach forward and down. Good. And the right arm down. Take your left arm up into the air and open up. Good. Keeping the hips underneath you, it's kind of easy to let them stick out behind you. Firm up your legs a bit without gripping with your toes. So pushing down firmly through the pads of your feet and then lifting up and away from that. Nice. One more breath here. And then inhale, breathing, bring yourself up. Good. And warrior two pose. Bend your front leg, your right leg, and drop down. Reach the arms apart, open up the chest, and settle into your stretch here. Firm up your back leg. Allow your inner thighs to open. Draw your belly in. And let your eyes just gently rest over your right fingertips. Nice. One more breath here. And lunge twist. Put your hands down. Spin on the ball of the back foot. Pick up your right arm. Open up. Bring your left rib cage towards your right knee. Downward facing dog. Take the hand down and set the leg back. Tailbone lifting up into the air. And breathing. Bringing more breath to those parts of the body that we just opened. Inhale, breathing, come forward into plank pose. You have the option of putting the knees down or not. We're going to lower down to the floor if you want to build a little bit more upper body strength. Keep your knees lifted. Release the tops of your feet. Another Cobra. Inhale. Lift your chest up. Good. Finding the strength in your back to get a little bit more lift to the spine. Use your legs. Okay? When the legs engage, pressing down to lift the chest up. And release back down. Downward facing dog. Again, tucking your toes, either coming up to your hands and your knees or just pushing right down. Downward facing dog. And from the dog, look forward, bend the knees, and bring your feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold. And then inhale, all the way up, sweeping your arms up over your head. Reach up, already taller. Bring your hands to your heart center. Close your eyes just for a moment. Just kind of let that swirl into the body a bit. All right, a little bit of a different sequence now. Place your hands on your hips, okay? And we're going to take our right leg and we're going to step it back into warrior one pose. So the right foot steps to the back of the mat. Keep your hips and your chest squared, facing forward. Bend your left leg and reach your arms up over your head. Fantastic posture for the back, for the hips, and for the legs. Draw the belly in. Open up your chest, reach up through your fingertips. Well done. Settle down into your hips. Let the spine get nice and long. Take your hands into Steeple Mudra. Interlace your fingers. Release your index finger, crush your thumbs. Good. You can take your arms a little out in front and then glance up. As you reach up through the fingers, get a little lower into your hips. Get a lot more space into your spine this way. Very nice. Beautiful. And then straighten out your front leg and place your hands on your hips. Take your back foot and step it up a bit. So you're shortening your stance. Good. And we'll take a forward fold over our left leg into pyramid pose. So pull your left hip back and bring your head, your chest, your whole upper body forward. You might find you have to bend your left knee a little bit, and that's fine. Firm up your back right leg and let the head and the chest start to slide down your left leg, releasing the grip of your toes. You can find, so probably our deepest hip and hamstring stretch so far. We get a little deeper into this. And again, not a bad idea. I think we're all developing home practices now. Not a bad idea to have a couple of yoga blocks at home, a couple of home blocks. I practice with them all the time. Really helps me find more space in my body. Last breath here. Then take the right foot, slide it to the back of the mat into a runner's lunge, now into a lizard lunge. Walk your left foot to the left a bit. Place your right knee down on the floor. And let your hips drop down and forward. So I'm on my hands here, and you're welcome to stay on yours. Some people can come down onto their forearms, and that's fine. Find your depth, but do allow a little bit of weight to come into the hips. Let the weight of the hips take you down in this. Your back foot, your right foot can be tucked, or the foot can be flat, depending on whatever feels best for you. That's fine. And then controlled breathing here, reminding yourself that you are in control. Right? The depth of the posture is up to you. That's how we learn discernment in a yoga practice. Understanding that it is the student that controls his or her practice. One more breath here. Nice. So, walk your hands back a little bit so your right hip is over your right knee. And I want you to take your left leg and bring it all the way back into the air behind you. All the way back, lifting it up. Good. Take your right arm up. We're going back to spinal balance here. We're adding core work. Inhale, exhale, bring your elbow and your knee together. Inhale, breathing, extend it out. Good. Exhale, elbow and knee touch. Inhale, exhale. Let's do two more. Exhale, breathing, pull it in like a cat stretch. Inhale, breathing, extend it. Last one. Squeeze the elbow and the knee in. Extend it out. And put the hand and the foot down. Keep the toes tucked and the left leg extended. Last pose of the sequence is a supported side plank. Drop onto the inside of your left heel and pick up your left arm and open up. Push your hips a little forward. Again, like the triangle pose, you don't want the tail to stick out behind you. Pull your rib cage in, let your collarbone spread as your arms reach apart. If you want to challenge your balance, pick up your left leg and flex. There you go. Flex your left foot. Belly pulls in. Nice. Lift the leg up a little higher. And then release the hand, the knee, the toe, the foot, the whole thing. Kind of shake out your tail just a little tiny bit. And once again, downward facing dog. Up the toes and lift yourself up into your down dog. And from your downward facing dog, look forward and walk your hands to your feet. Come up to a standing forward fold. Inhale, breathing, half lift. Exhale, breathing, and you fold. And then inhale, stand up, please. Circle your arms up over your head. Bring your palms together and place them in front of your heart. Other side, place your hands on your hips, please. It started with warrior one. Take your left leg, step it to the back of the mat. Good. Bend your front right leg, drop down into the lunge, and reach your arms up over your head. If you need space, take your arms out a little wide. They don't have to be hugging your head, although that's a great way to, something to work towards. It's not necessary. Tone up the belly, push into the outer left foot, and let your hips drop down as you reach up through your fingertips, through your side body. Take your hands again, Steeple Mudra, interlace your fingers, release your index, cross your thumbs, and reach up through the arms. Now you have that connection. Drop your head back a bit, look up at your hands. Settle down a little bit deeper into your hips. Now place your hands on your hips, straighten your right leg, step your left foot up a few inches, both legs straight, hips square towards the front of the mat. Pyramid pose, come on down. Pull your right hip back and place your hands down on the floor, or maybe you have blocks or something that you can use. Do keep your back leg, your left leg as straight as possible. Let your head just drop down. Right hip lifts up, right quadricep muscle kind of pulls in a bit. Get very deep into your right leg. Nice. 2 more breaths here. Parsvottanasana. Beautiful, beautiful posture. 1 more breath. Now take your left foot and slide it all the way back into a runner's lunge. Take your right arm on the inside of your right leg. Put your left knee down. So your lizard lunge on this side. Again, I stay on my hands. That's what works best for my body. You can come down lower if you'd like. Let the hips drop down. Wonderful way to get some space. You know, all the hip and leg work that we do in yoga really promotes a healthy back. Your lower body is tight and weak. Your low back, or really your entire back, will learn to compensate for it and come out of shape itself. Even though we're working our wrists and our forearms and our legs and our chair poses, a lot of it is for the health of the back and the spine. 1 more breath here. Nice. We'll come back onto your hands. Good. And bring your weight back over your left knee. So you'll walk your hands back a bit. And now take your right leg and swing it all the way back behind you up into the air. Left arm lifts as well. Inhale, breathing here. Exhale, elbow and knee touch. Squeeze it in. Inhale, breathing, extend. Exhale, breathing, squeeze. Good. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze. Let's do 1 more. Inhale, breathing, lengthen. Exhale, breathing, squeeze it in. Beautiful. Extend it out. Place the hand and the toes down on the floor. Keep your right leg extended. Drop your right heel down, side plank pose. Pick up your right arm. Open up onto the side body. This is akin to a balance, right? Just balancing on one side of the body. Works your balance quite a bit. Open up through your chest. Good. Lift your right leg up. Flex the foot. Work through the glute. Leaning a little bit into your left arm. Very nice. 1 more breath here. Good. And then place the foot, the hand, and the knee down and shake out your tail a little tiny bit. We'll take our last vinyasa. Tuck your toes under, lift yourself up, downward facing dog. Inhale, breathing, come forward into plank pose. Exhale, breathing, lower down. Put your knees down. Little cobra, inhale, breathing, lift your chest. And now exhale, come back to downward facing dog. One more breath here. And then come forward and put your knees down on the floor. Take your legs out in front of you, coming into a seat. And let's take a bridge pose here. So we'll lie down on our backs, bending our knees, placing your feet flat on the floor. Arms by your side, push down through your arms, your hands, your feet, and lift your hips up. Good. When your hips lift up, actually push a little harder through your feet, your legs, and your arms. You'll feel more engagement there, but a lot more freedom in your upper body. Squeeze your shoulder blades a little closer to each other underneath your upper back, if possible. Interlace your hands here. If not, no big deal. And then take the pelvis and lift that up higher. Physically move your pelvis closer to the ceiling. Make sure there's still weight in your big toes. Don't let your knees flop out to the side. A fantastic posture for strengthening your back. And very slowly lower yourself down. Nice. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. We'll thread the needle. Now a little bit of a pigeon stretch for our hips. Reach through with your arms and grab your left leg. You can grab the leg underneath their knee. You can grab it over your knee, really wherever you have the space into your body. And then lie back down and getting your back and your hips, your pelvis, your shoulders as square and as flat on the floor as possible. Then pull your left leg towards you. Let the right hip roll back down to the ground. Try not to let that right knee come in too much. If you're holding underneath your left knee, straighten your left leg out. That can make it a little bit of a deeper experience, at least for some of us, but it helps to keep your sacrum flat on the ground, and that's important. There's a few cracks and pops in there as well. It's a good thing. Last breath here. And then release. Placing your foot down, bring your both feet back down on the floor. Let's do one more bridge pose. A little bit stronger, push down and lift up. See if you can connect your hands underneath you. Really come onto your deltoids and your shoulders and lift your chest and your pelvis up into the air. Make sure you're not looking back behind you. Your head is in a neutral position. You're looking directly up at your ceiling. And then again, ease that down from the top. Feels good, the middle back, and then the low back and the hips. Pigeon on the other side, cross your left ankle over your right thigh. And reach through, grab your right leg. Now, if that's not possible, just holding the position like I am right here, with the ankle over the lower part of the thigh is just fine. Keep your left foot flexed. And try and keep that left knee away from you. Right? And then keeping your pelvis level, even if you have to use your hands to make sure that's where it should be. Sometimes reaching for the leg is just not possible. It doesn't mean that yoga is not possible. If you're holding underneath your right leg, extend the leg up into the air. Maybe you can find a little bit more of a stretch, or maybe not. I think these are just little nuances we can add to these poses if they work with our bodies. Take one more breath, please. And then release the leg and everything back down to the floor. Okay, bring your both knees into your chest. Kind of give yourself a light little hug, a little roll to the left and the right. That'll always feel good on your low back. And then take your hands under your knees and roll yourself up to a C. So the forward fold is the best complement to those last handful of postures here. So Paschimottanasana. We'll sit with our legs extended and together. Knees can be slightly bent. In fact, you can put a little towel or a little cushion underneath your knees if need be. Sweep your arms up over your head. Get long for your spine. Big inhale. And let's dive forward over our legs into a forward fold. Drop down. Drop the head and the chest down towards the floor, towards your legs. Place your hands on the floor or on your legs. And then soften into it. If your back is very tight, bend your knees a little. Let your head come in. Let your shoulders roll forward. Here's where we can really explore tension in the body. We can actually hold ourselves back sometimes. I want you to flop into this pose. Let gravity do its thing. And coming into the deepest expression of the forward fold. But doing it without engaging muscularly. You're really just letting the shape of the posture and gravity on its way. A couple more breaths. Last breath. And then gently use the strength of your arms. Push yourself up. But take your fingertips behind you and just lean back a bit. Let your collarbones spread. Kind of like a cheating fish pose here. It's a nice complement to what we just did. You can really engage your legs here as well and get a little bit more space into the sternum. Nice. And release. All right, let's twist. Take the right leg, bend the foot. The sole of the foot can just come down on the floor on the inside of the left leg. Wrap your left arm in front of your right knee. Place your weight behind you. Press your left leg down. Press your right hand down to sit up tall and now twist. Bring your chin towards your right shoulder. Hug your left knee in closer towards your left rib cage as you wrap the ribs around the spine and twisting it out. The quality of the twist is just a whole lot better the taller you can sit up. And then the depth of the twist is almost irrelevant. You'll go as far as you can go. But you are quite literally wringing out the spine. Best thing for the end of a yoga practice. Nice. And then release. Well done. And take your right leg, extend that. We'll do it on the other side. Bend your left leg. Place your left leg. Wrap your right arm in front of the left knee. Bring your left arm behind you. Sit up. Yeah. Lots of space. Press the right leg down. Turn. Fine. Knee pulls in towards the right rib cage. Shoulders are down. Crown of the head reaches up. So even though you're holding the twist, see if you can get a little bit more length into the spine. But one more breath. Hopefully. And then release. Very nice. Let's rest for a few moments. So come down onto we'll take a collective Shavasana together and close our practice together as well. This is a pose to practice. Let your feet, your legs come out comfortably wide, and even your arms. So always give yourself space in Shavasana. It's the pose we hold the longest. Allow the fingers to curl, the toes to flop out, and the body to completely settle into the ground. So always take the first few seconds of your Shavasana, really just for a physical scan of the body to release all tension. And then we'll find stillness and silence for the next few moments. Next inhale, start to roll your head a little bit, left and right. Good. Sweep your arms up over your head. Give yourself a full body stretch. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug, a little roll left and right. And then we'll come back to that seat in which we began our practice. So that can be sitting cross-legged with your legs extended or in any way, any position. But going back to the quiet spot that we began our practice, going back to one of the founding principles in a yoga practice, to simply hold your mind still, your body still, making yourself open and available for some peace, and even creating a bit of that within. Reach our arms up over our heads and take out your last little stretch here. Nice big breath. Join your hands together, please. Place them in front of your heart. Bring your chin to your chest. Grateful for your experience, as I'm grateful to this, to you, for our continued efforts and carrying through with yoga. Thank you so much. The beautiful rest of your day. Namaste. Well done, everybody.